I didn't realize it back then, but the first moment my girlfriend lied to me was the moment our entire relationship started to rot from the inside. We were both 21, still acting like kids pretending to be adults. Bars, late nights, music so loud it made your chest vibrate. Those early months felt electric. She was wild, fearless, the type of girl who made you forget the rest of the world existed. I fell hard, way too hard. But somewhere around that first year, something in her shifted. I remember one night in particular. Summer heat, headlights cutting through the trees, the smell of grass after rain. She was working late at the country club as a cart girl, and I was behind the bar of a different club across town. I trusted her. I really did. But that night, something wouldn't leave my chest like a hand was pressing down on it. Her last text was, "I'll call you when I'm on break." An hour passed, then another. I finally called her. No response. Called again. Straight to voicemail. When she finally answered, her voice was weird. Breathless. Like she had sprinted to pick up. "Oh, sorry," she said. "I just stepped out of the car." Out of the car? But I hadn't even mentioned the car. That was the first time my stomach actually dropped. Something in her tone. The shaky inhale. The excuse that didn't match her usual attitude. It didn't feel right. I knew her. I knew when she was lying. But she pushed hard, harder than I expected, when I gently asked if everything was okay. She freaked out. Not annoyed. Not defensive. I'm talking full breakdown, tears, yelling, throwing past trauma at me like weapons. "How could you think I'd cheat on you? After what I went through? After everything I told you?" She cried so hard that I ended up comforting her. And somehow, she walked away looking like the victim, and I walked away feeling guilty. Things calmed down, at least on the surface. But her behavior didn't. She came home tired. Too tired for intimacy. Too tired to talk. Too tired to explain why her shifts kept getting later. And the worst part? I let it slide because I didn't want to be that guy. The jealous boyfriend. The insecure one. The paranoid one. But I wasn't paranoid. Things were happening right in front of me. And then came the Smirnoff bottle. One random afternoon, I pulled into our driveway and saw a cold, empty Smirnoff ice bottle standing straight up in the dirt, like someone placed it there on purpose. Like a message. Like a clue dropped by accident. We lived in the middle of nowhere. No neighbors close enough to just wander over. No friends who'd randomly stop by. Just me, her, and a bottle someone else had clearly finished. She claimed she had no idea. Her face didn't show confusion, just calculation. And I don't know why, but I felt something icy crawl up my spine when she walked past me that day. Like I was living with a stranger. I tried to bury it. I really did. But then Thanksgiving happened. And that was the moment everything snapped. She disappeared for hours. No text. No call. No explanation. Everyone asked where she went, and I just shrugged, even though inside I was boiling. When she finally walked back through the door, hair messy, cheeks flushed, jacket half-zipped, she acted like nothing happened. "Where were you?" I asked. She didn't even hesitate. "I was here the whole time." She looked me dead in the eye and said it. A lie so bold it made my skin crawl. And in that moment, I realized something ugly. I didn't recognize the woman standing in front of me. But the worst part? I still didn't have proof. And without proof, all I had were instincts, suspicions, and a heart that felt like it was being twisted slowly, painfully, every single day. I didn't know it yet, but the truth was about to hit me harder than I was ready for. Thanksgiving night didn't end with her lie. It lingered, hung over us like smoke that wouldn't clear. She sat on the couch, scrolling through her phone like nothing happened. I remember standing in the hallway, watching her, trying to read her expression. She looked calm, too calm, like she had practiced that face in the mirror before walking back inside. I tried to shake it off, tried to enjoy the rest of the evening. But every time my phone buzzed, my chest tightened. Every time she smiled at a notification, I felt sick. Later that night, when she went to shower, she left her phone on the bed. Screen down. Always down. Something inside me whispered, "Check it." But I didn't. I just stared at it like it was some kind of bomb. Maybe I was too blind to see it. Or maybe I was too scared to confirm what I already felt. The next few weeks, her behavior didn't get better. It got stranger. She'd come home smelling like cologne that wasn't mine. Subtle, but noticeable. She started dressing nicer for work, doing her makeup more, straightening her hair, even on days she usually didn't care. I'd ask, "Why are you so dressed up today?" She'd answer, "Because it makes me feel good," but her eyes always darted away for a second too long. There were nights she'd stay late to close, but when I'd ask what time she got off, she'd say around the usual. Never an exact time. Then came the night that almost confirmed everything. I remember lying in bed, scrolling pointlessly, waiting for her. She texted me, "Almost done. Be home soon." But an hour passed. Then another. Finally, at 1:17 a.m., headlights hit the bedroom wall. I heard the car door shut, then hushed voices. Lie, right to my face, and with a smile. I didn't push further. I didn't trust myself to speak without breaking. She kissed my cheek casually before going upstairs. That little kiss burned. Felt wrong. Felt contaminated. And for the first time in our relationship, I lay awake knowing something wasn't just off. Something was happening. Something real. Something she wasn't afraid of hiding anymore. But the worst part came a few days later. A moment so small it shouldn't have mattered. But it broke me. Because it proved she wasn't just lying to me. She was getting comfortable lying. It happened on a random Tuesday evening. Nothing special, nothing dramatic. I had just gotten home from work, still smelling like fryer oil and cheap soap from the employee bathroom. She was sitting at the kitchen table, scrolling through her phone with this soft smile on her face. Not a normal smile. A warm smile. A smile I hadn't seen directed at me in months. She didn't even notice I walked in. Her thumb paused on the screen. Then she typed something fast. Too fast. Like she was excited. Like she couldn't wait to reply. I stepped closer, and that's when she finally flinched. She angled her phone away, so quickly it almost slipped from her hand. "Hey," she said, overly casual. "You're home early." I got off early. I watched her. "Who are you talking to?" She gave a tiny shrug. "Just my friend." She never said which friend. Not a name. Not even a fake one. Just friend, like she had already prepared the answer. She stood up, kissed my cheek, then walked upstairs while still typing, still smiling at her screen. I don't know why, but I followed her. Quietly. I stood outside her bedroom door and listened. Her muffled voice slipped through the crack. "No, he's not mad. He doesn't know. Yeah, I miss you too." My chest tightened so hard I had to hold the railing just to stay upright. I wasn't hearing things. I wasn't imagining it. I wasn't being paranoid. I stepped back as the door suddenly opened, and she jumped when she saw me in the hallway. "What are you doing up here?" she asked. I swallowed. "What were you talking about?" She didn't blink this time. Didn't stumble. Didn't panic. She just lifted her chin slightly and said, "My cousin." Her cousin. I stared at her, and she stared back, waiting for me to either explode or break. And I realized something sad. She wasn't scared of losing me. She wasn't scared of me finding out. She was scared of being confronted. Just that. The inconvenience of it. That's when something inside me finally cracked. Over the next few days, I tested her. Small things. Casual questions. Little moments to see if she would slip. And she did. Over and over. She said she worked late, but a coworker told me they closed early. She said she went out with her mom, but her mom posted a picture from home that same night. She said her phone died, but I saw it fully charged when she plugged it in. Each lie was small, but together, they painted one ugly picture. And the final straw, the moment I couldn't ignore, it was the smell. One night, she crawled in a bed next to me, and she smelled like men's deodorant. Strong. Fresh. Not mine. And not the kind they kept at her workplace. I moved away from her instinctively. "What?" she whispered. "What's wrong now? Where were you?" I asked quietly. She laughed once. Not a nervous laugh, an annoyed one. "Are we really doing this again?" Her voice had changed. Her patience was gone. She wasn't even pretending to be hurt this time. I stared at her, and for the first time since we started dating, I didn't see the girl I fell for. I saw someone who didn't respect me, who didn't care about us, who didn't even care enough to be careful with her lies anymore. She rolled over and went to sleep. I stayed awake all night, staring at the ceiling, realizing just how lonely it felt lying next to someone who wasn't really yours anymore. And that's when I made a decision, one I never thought I'd make. I was going to get answers. Real answers. Even if it meant finding something I didn't want to see. I didn't know it then, But the way I uncovered the truth would shake me harder than all the lies combined. The truth didn't come crashing down all at once. It came quietly, like a whisper I couldn't ignore anymore. The morning after she came home smelling like someone else, she left early for work. Too early. She didn't kiss me goodbye. She didn't even look at me. Just grabbed her bag and walked out like she was escaping something. My stomach felt twisted. I sat there on the edge of the bed, staring at the carpet, and something inside me finally snapped. I needed to know. I had to know. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I drove to her job. I parked far enough away that she wouldn't notice, and I waited. An hour passed. Then another. Her shift was supposed to start, but she never showed. I texted her. "Hey, everything okay?" She replied 5 minutes later. "Yeah, already at work. Busy today." I looked at the empty parking lot. That was it. The moment everything inside me went cold. I stayed longer just to be sure. And around 12:30, a white truck pulled up on the far side of the lot, and she stepped out. Not from the passenger seat. From his side. He leaned over and kissed her. Not a quick goodbye. Not a friendly kiss. A slow one. A familiar one. She smiled. The same smile she used to save for me. My hands were shaking so hard I had to grip the steering wheel to stop them. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. The world just blurred. Like I finally stepped into the truth I'd been avoiding for so long. I didn't confront her. I didn't get out of the car. I just watched, numb, as she grabbed her bag and walked toward the clubhouse like nothing was wrong. I drove home in silence. My heart wasn't racing anymore. It felt empty. Completely hollow. And for the first time in months, everything made sense. The late nights. The cologne. The lies. The bottle in the driveway. The secret phone calls. The disappearing on Thanksgiving. The laughter with just a coworker. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't paranoid. I wasn't overthinking. I was being cheated on, and she didn't even respect me enough to hide it anymore. That night when she walked through the door, acting tired and innocent, I didn't play along. I just said, "I know." She froze. Her face drained of color. What do you mean?" "I saw you," I said quietly. "I saw everything." She didn't deny it. She didn't fight. She didn't cry. She just sat down on the couch and whispered, "I'm sorry." That was all. 3 years together, and all she gave me was 2 words. And the sad part? I didn't feel relief. I didn't feel rage. I just felt done. We broke up that night. No screaming. No dramatic ending. She packed a small bag and left to stay with a friend, and we both knew exactly which friend it was. I won't lie. Walking back into the empty house afterward felt like being punched in the chest. I kept wondering if maybe I should have been more patient, more understanding, whether I caused any of this. Sometimes I still wonder if I made the right choice. But deep down, I know I did. Because losing someone who lies to you isn't a loss. It's the moment your life gets room for something better. And eventually it will. Anyways, guys, that's the end of the story. Thanks for listening. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe to Reddit Cheating Stories for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.